All right, today we're getting super practical. We're going to break down the very first steps you can actually take to start growing your wealth. We'll cover everything from getting your mindset right to, actually making that first investment.
So, are you ready? Ready to turn what you've saved into real, lasting wealth? I mean, that's the big question, right? How do you get your money to start working for you instead of the other way around? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into.
And hey, welcome to our 6th class on investing. We're really starting to build on everything we've learned so far. And listen, you're going to want to watch all the way to the end because I've got a challenge question for you that'll help put all of this into practice.
Okay, let's get into it. But before you even think about putting a single dollar into the market, you've got to do some prep work. Seriously, this is the foundational step that so many people just skip over. But trust me, getting this right is absolutely crucial for everything that comes next.
It really all boils down to 3 things. Number 1, a clear financial goal. You've got to know why you're investing in the first place. Number 2, a safety cushion. This is non-negotiable, folks. An emergency fund with at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses. And number 3, you have to understand your own risk tolerance. Like, how much can a market go up and down before you start losing sleep at night?
So once you've got that solid foundation in place, then we can start talking about choosing your investments. And here's the thing. The key isn't about finding that one best investment everyone's talking about. It's about finding the investments that are right for your specific goals. And this really gets to the heart of it. If you have short-term goals, say in the next 1 to 3 years, you need stability, right? So you'll want to stick with lower risk things like bonds or high-yield savings accounts. But for your long-term goals like retirement, that's when you can take on a bit more risk for potentially higher returns with things like stocks and ETFs. It all comes down to your timeline. Your time horizon really dictates the whole strategy.
Now, you don't have to pick just one. In fact, you definitely shouldn't. The smart way to do this is called asset allocation. I like to think of it like building a sports team. You need some players on offense to score points, that's your growth, and you need players on defense to protect you, that's your safety. It's that balance that's going to help your portfolio get through pretty much anything.
So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, here's a pretty classic example for a beginner. You've got the biggest chunk, 60% in stocks for that long-term growth. Then 30% in bonds to provide some stability. And maybe a small 10% slice in something like gold, which can act as a bit of a hedge when things get uncertain. It's a really simple mix, but it's designed to give you that balance between growth and safety. Okay, so you know what you want to buy, but how do you, buy it? The answer is something called a brokerage account. I know it sounds kind of intimidating or complex, but it's not. It's really just your gateway to the stock market. Just think of it like a bank account, but specifically for your investments. And opening one is honestly so much easier than you think. You just pick a trusted company, open your account online, which takes like minutes, and then you fund it. And hey, you can start small. There's no minimum most of the time. From there, you just choose your investments and you're off. It's a simple 5-step process you can literally do from your couch.
All right, now I want to talk about one of my favorite strategies. It's one of the most powerful and, best of all, stress-free ways to invest. It's called dollar cost averaging. You should think of this as your secret weapon for putting your entire investing plan on autopilot.
The idea is incredibly simple. You just invest a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, so maybe it's $100 every single month. And you do this no matter what the market is doing, whether it's way up or way down. The price doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is being consistent.
So why is this so powerful? Because it completely removes your emotions from the investing process. There's no more trying to guess if now is the right time to buy. No more feeling that fear when the market drops or greed when it soars. You just stick to the plan, and that discipline automatically turns the market's ups and downs from something to be scared of into your biggest advantage.
Let's walk through a quick example of how this works. Imagine you invest your $100 and a share of an ETF, which is just a bundle of different stocks, costs $50. Well, your $100 buys you exactly 2 shares. Pretty straightforward, right? But now, let's see what happens when the market takes a dip. Okay, so the next month, the price drops to $25 a share. Now, instead of panicking and selling, your automatic plan just kicks in. That same $100 investment now buys you 4 shares. See? You automatically buy more when prices are low. And over the long run, this brings down your average cost per share, which can set you up for much bigger gains. And all of this leads me to the single most important ingredient for success in investing. I'm serious. It's more important than how much money you invest, and it's even more important than what you invest in. And that secret weapon is time.
What we're really talking about here is the incredible power of compound interest. This is where your investment earnings start generating their own earnings. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but over decades, it just grows and grows until it becomes this massive, unstoppable force. Just look at this number. Seriously, if you were to invest just $200 a month, starting when you're 25, you could have around $700,000 by the time you're ready to retire. That is the power of giving your money 40 years to grow. But what happens if you wait? What if you just put it off for 10 years and start at 35 instead? That delay cuts your final nest egg by more than half. You invested only $24,000 less of your own money, but you missed out on $400,000 in potential growth. That is the staggering, absolutely mind-blowing cost of waiting.
So, to make sure you get started on the right foot, let's just run through some common beginner mistakes you've got to avoid. The absolute biggest one is waiting for the perfect time to invest. Spoiler alert, it doesn't exist. Other big ones are checking your portfolio every single day, following whatever hype you see on social media, ignoring fees, those can really eat into your returns, and of course, investing without a clear goal in the first place. Just avoid these traps.
When you boil it all down, it really comes to this. Successful investing, it's not about getting lucky. It's not about hitting some stock market jackpot. It's about consistency, it's about having a plan and just sticking to it. Month in, month out, through all the ups and downs. So if you only remember one thing from our entire conversation today, please let it be this. Automate your plan. Set up an automatic transfer from your bank to your brokerage account. Set up an automatic purchase of your investments. This takes the discipline out of your hands and lets the two most powerful forces in all of finance, time and compounding, do all the heavy lifting for you.
All right, you made it to the end. And as promised, it is time for your end-of-class challenge. Let's put some of what we learned into practice with one last question.
So let's run a scenario. If you invest $200 every single month into an ETF that gets an average return of, say, 7% a year, how much will you have after 20 years? Go ahead, pause this and plug those numbers into a compound interest calculator online. I think the answer you find might just be all the motivation you need to get started today. Thanks so much for joining me.